Gita. This was this kind of blue one, the first edition. I have them actually. I have a little museum, stored in Czech Republic with paraphernalia, with the first publications and everything. So he grabbed that Bhagavad Gita and he kept it like this, opened it, and he was consciously breathing and reading just to keep himself awake. He was going, and then he read all this, we are not this body, and this and that, Very intense study of Bhagavad Gita in that condition. And he remained the whole night like this, just going, just panic. And somewhere in the morning time, finally they dig themselves back to that cabin. It was his friend with some ambulance or something like this. And he was saved and brought to the hospital. And the only thing they found in his hand he cringed to was this Bhagavad Gita. He was kind of still holding it like, and then in the hospital they stabilized him kind of, and so he read the book to the end, and at the end he found the address, went to the temple and joined him in. So that's how devotees used to join out of this kind of experiences. There are many far cases of people during those days. Anyway,
I just saw this film recently with Das-4 about some periods of his life, and it's also so much the mood that Prabhupada is describing, just distributed to everyone. The same thing with Das-4. It's just this Brahminical approach. He's just preaching, but he has this purity, so everyone is just following him and accepting him as this person.
That's in a film.
Yeah.
But when you read Chaitanya Charitamrita, that was the associates of Lord Chaitanya. They were so empowered. One of them had a whip, and whoever he hit with the whip, he became a pure devotee. Another one, he challenged others to a game of chess. I think it was chess. And then he defeated them, they became pure devotees. While playing chess. So this is preaching tactics which Prabhupada didn't implement because we are not qualified for that. But the principle is there, yeah.
But it's just such an inspiring film. It's really like this. Wow. Have you seen it?
Yeah, long time ago.
Yeah.
From the old ones?
What? Yeah, old ones.
They don't make them anymore.
Oh, it's so good. It's
It was still very innocent. There was also lots of nonsense produced along with that, but that film is, it's just the idea to turn, make films on this subject matter nowadays. Who gets the idea? But Hollywood would have a feast on Mahabharata and this kind of thing. But I think Krishna personally doesn't give them the inspiration because they will mess around with it. They will produce who knows what. So that's Krishna doesn't inspire them. Otherwise, the material itself. Look what the Avatar movie and what kind of speculation is this. But what a material. I knew Scorsese, I knew the guy who did that. He was in Czech Republic, I was involved with film things. He had a manuscript for that movie already 20 years ago. Inspired by devotees, by Bhagavatam, the whole thing. Because you find that floating mountains, and this and that, and all this, and this whole idea. This is all taken from Bhagavatam.
Blue people.
Blue people and all this, and tilaks and stuff like this. This is all taken from Bhagavatam. He read Bhagavatam. He knew that. But he saw no means to put it into some form. There was no technology available for that. So he said, I kept always that manuscript on my shelf thinking when will the day come we can put it into some picture. So finally they did that. So but it's still concocted. It's like, Prabhupada would appreciate that our material is so simple and so clear. Why don't you just keep it as it is? It will be inspiring to people too. But it's just too much God conscious, that's the problem. They cannot put it straight like this, people are not ready for that. Therefore also Krishna doesn't inspire them to take it up. And besides that, Prabhupada said filmmaking is always taken as amusement, as an entertainment. It's not as serious as a book. Book, that's Prabhupada said. One book can change the whole life of a person. It's amazing. Even in this computer age, you don't get changed by some web page, really. But a book has such a personality, such a power in it. It can change your whole life. Even a demonic book can influence you very heavily. People still buy books. It's amazing. Yeah. I remember myself growing up amongst books. I was very much growing up amongst, because even in communistic countries, this is a culture communist established, that even the last Shudra, who was never reading actually anything, but who was spending every evening in a bar, he had a huge library at home. It was like part of the equipment. You had a flat, whole wall was just books. Even a stupid Shudra. And even Harikesha once told me, because he was the first one going in the East, he was impressed by the quality of the books he found there. Because communists were very keen on this. Of course it was communistic books, but even art books and things like this, especially the Czech Republic is known for that. The layout and the quality, all the way back in the 60s. So that's nice, because then people, I remember when I started distributing books in Prague, after communism was finished, people saw a book, immediately went for the book. They bought the book even for the pictures. They couldn't even relate to the content. Just open the book, look at the picture. Very good. Besides the fact that the book came like from the West. That was important at that time. Can you imagine? The first 2-3 years after communism was finished, you could go to the center town, put up a table with Prabhupada's books. They were standing in queue. Half a kilometer, 1 kilometer queue, just to get to the book. When I first time came to Prague, the first temple in Prague was not a temple, it was a flat. Big 6-room flat. It was on a 10th floor of a concrete, house. And I went there, and the whole flat was from the bottom to the ceiling filled up with pallets of books. I don't know how they got it up to the 10th floor. Because the elevator was for 4 people, I said, how did you get it up there? Oh, it was quite heavy to carry it up. I said, do you know the static of this place? You know what it means? You have 22 pallets of books in a flat. This will come down, the neighbor will get it on his table, below. Oh, we didn't thought about this. But they will not be here for long. I said, what are you doing? Oh, we are doing like 1 pallet a week, at least. Just, I said, 1 pallet? I never didn't heard this one. 4 guys, right? I said, I didn't heard for a long time this. Oh, yes, come with us. And just put up the table and immediately somebody. And they were so trained, the communists, because in the communist countries there was always some disaster, something was missing. Like famous thing for those toilet paper missing all the time. Oranges I got only on Christmas. I grew up with this. So when there was a queue, it was going around several corners. People immediately line up, and then they ask what is there, because just to secure the place in a queue. Sometimes it was going on for 2 days. You had to stand in a queue. The families were taking turn if some very, very precious item was for sale. And then they sold this out, and then something else was missing. So there were constantly these queues everywhere, people standing. So people were trained on this. They saw a queue, immediately standing there. And then they asked, what are they selling there in front? Far out books about yoga and this. Oh yeah, really far out, And then they stayed at the queue, and then, probably by the time they reached the table, there was already the 3rd family member already, they took turns. And they told him, you have to buy 2 books there, And they were cheaper, because the printing was cheap. This was now you can put the table. Just some bird will pass through again. But that was a special week. It was going for 2-3 years like this. They had in Czech Republic, they had something called tea places. It was a special speculation, Buddhistic type of cellar, in a cellar located, where there were all kinds of esoteric people sitting and drinking tea. And they arranged programs for us. You could have every evening a preaching program in such a place. They welcomed it very much. Yes, very nice. Hare Krishna, very good. So, there are more favorable times.
a few disasters of quite some magnitude. Yeah.
80 centimeter of ocean raising.
80 centimeters?
They calculate 82 centimeters erupts in half Denmark underwater.
No, 82 centimeters?
Yeah.
No.
Something like this I read in the newspaper.
No.
That's quite a lot, that's quite a lot.
It has to take quite a bit more water, but some weapons, some casualties, some death, some blood, some karma, maybe karma, some chemical factory blowing up right in their faces. All their kids are dying.
They have atomic plants here?
Huh?
They have atomic plants in Denmark?
No, unfortunately not. But like in Norway, a few private.
Huh?
A few
Oh,
private.
yeah, they can be all private party. Can take a very organized attempt.
How can that help?
How that can help?
They'll just make
Raise the atmosphere of fear. No. First, the Prabhupada, the first reaction, they get really fed up. Then it's difficult to preach. But after that, they start to ask questions. Why is this happening? And that's why we come.
I think maybe when the beer runs out.
Oh!
That will be the major thing.
Yeah.
The major catastrophe. No more beer.
Yeah.
Cigarettes also. Take the cigarette out there.
Maybe we should put LSD into the beer. And then
There was a gentleman in America in the 60s and 70s, Mr. What was his name? One of our initial ISKCON gurus was his disciple.
Timothy Leary.
He had a whole plan how to pollute the whole New York system with LSD
No way.
in a liquid form, so people get it straight from the water tap. Put the whole simultaneously in one day, the whole town. He was even quite open about it. He said this would be a very noble program to lift up the city to this dimension.
I think he's nice. But he takes the karma for it.
I don't even know how that guy died. They all died. Allen Ginsberg also died. So, what can you do? But the fact is that, material nature has to strike. Maya means also mercy. That's another explanation of the word Maya. Mercy. So it's like, it has to hit. People don't get the point. I had the fortune in my life to go through such experiences, and I tell you, it's very sobering. It leaves really impression on people. So the biggest problem here in the north, in the Scandi countries, is that they had too good time. Sweden, were the days off from the war. Denmark, something. Norway got a good smack, but still, they got the oil and they're like, so what, we are oil here.
I think maybe Muslims, if they take over the country, that would be some effect there or something, because the pride has to come down. They're so proud.
There was just one unit in South Africa invading a huge shopping center as a revenge for suppression of Muslims in Africa. And they were well trained. They were just whole shopping center. They closed it down and they were going, do you know the name of Allah's mother? No. Next, do you know? And they asked question from Quran. And whoever could answer, he was recognized a bona fide Muslim, so he could go. And the rest got shot immediately on the spot. Everybody.
Allah's mother?
Huh? Whatever. I don't know Quran, so I don't know. They had a whole questionnaire from Quran, and whoever qualified, fine, he could go, and who not.
But not Allah's mother, but maybe Muhammad's mother.
They are not that personal. They don't have a concept that Allah could have a mother, isn't it?
No. Allah does not have a mother.
Little bit deficiencies there, isn't it?
Yeah.
They don't have many things clear, but Muhammad's mother, that was like the questionnaire they had. And then, so, look at the faces of these people living here. Look at the consciousness of this one, Shankara running in front of the door. This gets worse and worse and worse. I get halfway sick when I walk down the street, just looking at the faces of these people.
I'd like to be one of the. It would be nice to be a Yamaduta.
You don't have the sync running anymore. Please.